What's good, YouTube? Drake Talks coming at you live with another video. Now today I just want to break down 5 tips for the Goodwill bins.
Hey yo, Workum. Hello.
It's because, you know, I go over this all the time, how I'm always going to the bins, and recently that's the only place I've really been sourcing from. I don't even really go to thrifts anymore, other than the bins, and you know, it's just been keeping me busy. I like the margins, I like how fast the things sell, I like digging, I like looking for the items, and you know, just the whole experience for me has been doing well, so I've just been sticking with it because it's been doing well. So I want to break down the first tip. I would say is to not wear gloves when you are digging through the bins. Now, a lot of people wear gloves because they touch gross stuff. If you want to make money and find good stuff, you shouldn't care about it because, you know, toughen up. Like, who cares what you're touching, man? So yeah, occasionally you touch something that's a little wet or damp, it's kind of gross or, you know, dirty, but you wash your hands and you're fine. Like, and the reason I say to not wear gloves is because you can feel the different fabrics. You really, damn, it's pouring outside. You can really feel good fabric and bad fabric, and you can tell the difference. Like, your sense of touch is greatly enhanced with practice, repetition, going through and actually digging all the time. And you can feel a good fabric, and then you'll know it's a good thing. Like, you can spot good brands literally by how they feel. You just get to build that up after doing it so many times, and then you'll know what's good fabric and bad fabric, and it will help you find stuff better and easier. Tip number 2, I would say, is to dig in every single bin. I don't care if 10 other resellers have gone through the bins before you. Still dig that bin. There's so much in there and so much stuff that people miss. There's been countless times where I go through a bin after another vintage reseller. Like, you can just tell who's a vintage reseller and stuff, and I still find good stuff. It just happens. It's so easy to miss stuff because there's all these items in the bins, and you may have different tastes in them. Maybe they're only looking for 80s stuff or 90s stuff, and you're here looking for other criteria. Like, there's so much stuff that people can miss or they don't even want to take. So you need to dig every single bin, no matter who has gone through it, no matter how little of items are in there, still dig it. Step number 3, I want to say, is get deep in the bins. Now, if there's a massive mountain of clothes, get to the bottom of that anyways. So what I do if I'm, so the bins are like stacked, so it's like 2, 2, 2, 2. If there's a massive pile on one and it's like, all right, it's going to be hard to get to the bottom of this. Basically take them, and as you're going through, throw them to the other bins across from you, and then keep doing that until you got enough space to where you can just move them to the side in your bin. Just helps to free up space so you can look at everything instead of having a massive mountain of clothes or items to look through. So throw them to the other bin, this bin, that bin. Just make space so you can dig and get deep. Step number 4, unfold every piece of clothing. Now, a lot of the time, shirts will be crumpled or folded already in the bottom of the bins. Now, take those shirts, because you can't see the design when they're folded. You'll see a white shirt, a blue shirt, a black shirt, but most of the times you won't see a design. So take those shirts and unfold them and look at them. A lot of times I have found good stuff by doing this. It's just like a treasure hunt. Most of the time you're not going to find good stuff when you do that, but if you don't, you're literally missing 100% of those pieces because you won't even check. And you do find good stuff when you check. And the biggest thing you will need to win at the bins is doing stuff that other people won't. So when you have a massive mountain of clothing, a lot of people won't get to the bottom of that because, like, they're too lazy. Let's be honest, they're too lazy to dig to the bottom. So that's the way you find good stuff, is you actually go in and dig to the bottom of that. A lot of people won't unfold every piece of folded clothing in the bins or in the hard goods. Most people won't dig to the bottom and move all this heavy shit out of the way. So if you do that, you increase your chances way more to find good stuff, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you do that and you'll have a lot more scores at the bins, I promise you. And finally, tip number 5 would be to thoroughly look over the items before you purchase. So what I do is I take every item, do a quick little look before I throw it in my cart. And then at the end of the trip, you bring your cart to a faraway bin. And I usually go on like the cassettes or like VHS tapes because most people don't look through those. So I lay them down, check the sleeves, check for marks, tears, anything that would throw a red flag up. and then if it's bad, throw it back. That's where you make the decision whether you want to keep things or throw them back. Make sure you thoroughly look for stains and rips and flaws. I've become more picky on what I've been picking up, and it's been converting to more sales and more follow-through rates. So per item that I get from the bins, I'm selling more than I did before because I'm more picky and more selective with what I'm picking and what flaws I will accept and what tears I'll accept and what brands and sizes. I've generally been sticking away from kids clothing. I don't pick that up. I only pick up adult clothing, which has been working pretty good for me. Generally, these tips will help you a lot. I believe I wish I would have known this when I started, but you know, it's just trial and error. If you guys have any tips for me at the bins that you know and I didn't explain in this video, please drop a comment below, because you know, people reading the comments, they can also contribute to this as well. And the bins is where everybody and anybody can win. You know, it's just a treasure hunt. There's new shit all the time, so everybody can win. Let's all fucking find some flame and let's make some money. Peace out.